Here are two of the great invisible skills of playing guitar that are not shown to you on any guitar program anywhere online or in books, except here. It's also the reason why so many people give up playing guitar too soon. When you're learning a song, you might see a D chord and it's asking you to strum a pattern. And then it's saying, go to G chord and strum the pattern. And then you're trying to race to get it. But this is really how chord changes happen. There's a little bit of time to make this give us room to change correctly. On the last upstroke, these fingers have left the guitar. They're not still on the D chord. They have left, and not alone that, they're halfway towards the next chord of G. I'm picking D to G to practice this because there's a pivot finger to give you a chance. If we were changing from G back, you don't try to get down like that. During the last upstroke, the fingers are leaving the guitar, moving halfway, so that you only have to come from here to get your chord. If you watch it slowly, 2, 3, and back to G, and you can hear a different sound, which is something like an E minor 7 type of sound, which is totally acceptable between chords and guitar. Also, to do this correctly, your upstrokes will have to be no more than 3 or 4, which is the correct way to do upstrokes in guitar. Downstrokes would be 6, but upstrokes almost always be 3 or 4, the bottom 3 or 4 strings. If we take C add 9 as an example, watch the fingertips closely again. So the fingers are off the guitar, traveling in the direction of the next chord during the last upstroke. And then they drop on just as you're starting down. And that's the second half of the chord change. On this beginner's program, by practicing half of a chord change rather than the full, let's say D to A minor, just half of the change, and then the other half. Half of the change, and then the other half, is hugely productive because you're actually practicing what you need for the upstroke, what you need for the downstroke. Can you see how that's fitting? For the last upstroke and for the next downstroke. The acid test, when beginners are strumming guitar, they get this muffed sound on the first beat. I've had it thousands of times over the years. You'll hear this. The first beat is muffed. Because they don't know how to do this. If you do it correctly, take more difficult chords now, like C maybe, and C chord. If you do it correctly, you will have the cleanest sound on the first strum of the bar, which is the important place to have your sound. It's completely acceptable to have a muffed or a muted sound at the end of the bar. It's actually intentionally written into a lot of songs. I'll give you 1 or 2 very obvious examples. You can clearly hear the muted sound, which is given me a chance to get these very difficult chord changes. But if you listen to the start, it's crystal clear. Clear sound.